Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in, because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another week of The World We Know. I'm your host, Greg Lamont. And make sure y'all get comfy, spark up, sip, relax, get ready for some good shit, because this is the world we know, and we got some crazy shit happening in it right now. So let's get into it. To start, we could talk about the price of shit and something that you may feel. The price of just about everything is about to shoot up. But to start, the price of oil right now, before I started the pod, the price of oil was $98 a gallon. It's about a 40% increase from about 2 weeks ago. No, I think that's actually like 50% increase because it was at 65. So oil right now is $98 a gallon, and gas right now, at least in my part of PA, is $3.99 for the cheap gas. So everything right now is going up. And here's why that's important. The price of oil has impact on just about everything. Like I don't have it here, but yesterday I was talking with my wifey about it, and oil impacts everything. Like, it impacts the price of your fucking, like, for females, it's your makeup, your cosmetology. It impacts the prices of clothing. It impacts the prices of furniture, everything. Because here's the thing, if you're in America and you want to buy something, right? Really, if you're anywhere, but especially if you're in America and you want to buy something, guess what? That something is likely, unless it's the government, it's coming from a company, right? Okay. Now that company, they have a bottom line that they have to meet, okay? That company has to keep their lights on, pay their shipping costs, pay the receiving costs, pay employees, pay all this, and help other people keep their lights on. So that cost is directly incorporated into every product you buy. So everything's about to go up. Oil and gas go up. You can expect just about everything to go up unless they find or utilize a true new source of energy. But I doubt that. That would take like some Nikola Tesla shift or some crazy ass shit like that. But yeah. In the boxing world, we have a little less serious tone for this week. There is, there was a brand risk tournament this past week, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the main event was Gypsy Crusader, and what's go, what's good? What's up? What's good? What's good? Sir, hello. But yeah, so this week, Gypsy Crusader fought my boy Super Hot Fire. And if you look at the motherfucking press conference and the build up to it, you would think that Gypsy Crusader is about to dog walk the dude. Because I was hearing Gypsy Crusader was a real fighter and shit. And like he was trying to go pro. And he actually said this himself while he was training. He was saying like he was trying to go pro before, but because of like his beliefs and everything and how controversial he was, it had a lot of like blackballing and not being welcome in certain leagues and shit, which is a hell of a fucking thing. But yeah, Gypsy Crusader, I mean, to be fair, he is 37, right? I mean, you can still fight at 37. I mean, if you take care of yourself, you'll be all right. But he's 37. But the thing is, there's not that big of a difference because Super Hot Fire is 35. And if you look at Super Hot Fire's physique, like, he looks like he runs on Pillsbury Doughboy. Like he only runs on like Auntie Anne's and Little Debbie's. and he had more stamina than Gypsy. If you actually watch that fight, like I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have a dog, I didn't have a horse in the race. Like I just was like, it's entertaining.
Big muscles take a lot of blood.
Yeah,
That's just facts. Big muscles take a lot of blood to move around.
yeah, but you don't think like fat would be harder to move?
Not if you do cardio.
Yeah. What up? What up? What up? What's good?
You know what I mean? That's the big thing. If you do cardio, then the fat is irrelevant.
What are they saying? Rah rah rah. Okay, all right. Type shit. Type shit. But yeah, I mean, I feel you. You definitely don't want to be bulky in no fucking boxing ring. You don't want to be
I mean,
unless you're fighting.
Butterbean, yeah.
Who's that?
Bro, you don't know about Butterbean? He was a boxer back in the day. Real big white dude, but he was real fat. He was like the Blob. Knock motherfuckers.
Tyson Fury.
Out. Yeah.
Tyson Fury is a good example too.
You know what I mean? You ain't gotta be ripped. When you're ripped and shit like that, you better be in a low weight class or be able to put someone out fast.
Right.
You just take too much blood.
It's good,
move
baby.
The muscles like that. You know what I mean? You move around, you get exhausted and gassed real quick.
That's a fact. That's a fact for sure. But I mean, especially if you get your muscles through bodybuilding. Like if you're in the gym doing slow reps and trying to look big, like, but yeah, not facts. I agree. But so Gypsy Crusader actually won the fight, y'all. Technically, he won the fight, split decision. Went to the cards, and he got 2 nods from the judges. And Blueface had a fight as well. Now while I didn't watch their entire fight like I did the Super Hot Fire fight, I did watch part of it. I was watching DJ Academics react to part of it and say about it. And like if you look at it, like he fought this dude named Chibu, right? Chibu. I don't know Chibu, but I don't know shit about him. But like it was such a dynamic fucking difference. Like Chibu, he looked maybe a little bit shorter and just a blob. He just looked like a blob who, but he could move. That was the thing about it. That motherfucker could move. And Blueface, he looked like he trained, like he was in good shape and shit like that. But he had no fucking stamina at all. Like, yeah, I mean,
He's just not used to being that big from coming out of jail like that.
well, no, he was cut. I mean, I wouldn't say that he was like a boxer, but he was slimmed down for this. He like how he was whenever he first left. I mean, maybe I'm tweaking, but he looked cut to me. DJ Academics was commenting on it too, but he was like he tired out in the first round. The other dude was like
probably dehydrated because he probably cut all his water.
That's what it looked like because he looked like slimmed down like a fighter, but not like cheek and bone slim, but like slimmer. But it was all deceiving because Chibu had so much more fucking stamina. I only watched 2 rounds, but I know it started off where Blueface was kind of maintaining the distance and he was holding him off and doing his thing, but he wasn't really throwing nothing. And whenever he did, here was another big difference. This is something DJ Academic said. I only watched like a round and a half of it, but he said that big difference is that Blueface was fighting. He had pillow hands. Like he wasn't throwing nothing that was like would stop you or intimidate you, but the other dude was only throwing to knock him out. Like whenever he threw, he was trying to do something. So Blueface was just kind of like boxing him, and the other dude was trying to knock him the fuck out.
At that point, it just becomes statistics of when does a punch land.
Exactly, and Blueface is like the thing is even if Blueface lands, it wasn't respected. So like,
yeah.
Plus if you're fighting, usually if you're fighting that big of a motherfucker, they're not gonna. I mean, unless you're like you got power hands, like and you don't got pillow hands, they're not gonna give a fuck about. They're gonna try to just go through everything, or tackle you. Speaking of tackle, in the motherfucking Gypsy Crusader fight, Gypsy Crusader threw Super Hot Fire out the ring, and he tackled him like 3 times in the fight. It's funny. He knocked him over 3 fucking times, and Actually, now hold on. There's another good point. How the fuck did he win the fight? Like they didn't deduct a point from him. Like Aiden Ross and Charleston White kept on saying deduct the point, because Gypsy Crusader like he'd be gassed and he would just like push him on the floor, and he did that shit like 3 times. The one time he like picked him up, like tried picking him up, he got him up a little bit and like just tossed him, and they never took a point and he won the fight. But whatever. That's enough about brand risk, but yeah, brand risk. And some hip hop news and some other news. I mean, it's not really news, but it's simmering. Something's coming. Uh, Drake affiliates and members of his team all updated uh, their profile photos to Ice, uh, to a diamond for Iceman. So some shit's coming, and Drake he reached out to this one dude who does breakdowns of his lyrics and like explains them and shit. And he said more breakdowns on the way, or more breakdowns coming soon, or some shit like that. So I mean, this is all just fucking. It's just edging it on, just fucking dragging it out. But it does make me confident that we're gonna get some like old school type of timeless, like not just a 2020s decade album, like a timeless album. And yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a gap in the game though. Even if, in my opinion, even if Drake does deliver like the most Take Care, Scorpion, like it's going to be great for him, but it's not necessarily changing the state of hip hop, because hip hop right now severely needs some new leaders. And
Did you see everyone trying to twist J. Cole's words? J. Cole put in one of his recent songs something about fuck those sympathy Grammys y'all try to hand me.
yeah,
Something. Um, and everyone's trying to twist it and make it sound like he's talking shit.
Kendrick's getting sympathy Grammys, yeah. But he was just saying, don't try to give me. Do you know what he was saying?
You think he was just
Like, I don't need your pity.
because he was talking about how he's happy with having no like Grammys of his own, um, just like how Pac does and Biggie, and you know what I mean. Like he's going through all these people,
Yeah.
and so I think he was
Just saying he accepts it at this point. Yeah, that Carrots hoodie's hard. Shout out Carrots, it's fire. But yeah, I mean, I fuck with Cole. I definitely think that album he dropped was a banger, and it should have probably got more publicity than it did. It feels like people never went mainstream. It feels like, but yeah, Iceman coming. If I had to give my predictions for Iceman, y'all, I'd say that the fucking I'm predicting 2 features outside of like background female vocalists, because he always has a couple of those like written as features, but they're not necessarily a feature. They're just like part of the instrument. But saying 2 features, possibly 3. I'm saying there could be a chance. I'm not gonna lie, and this would be. I don't know if I I see it, but I don't know for sure if it would be a smart move or even if it's likely. But if Drake would have a future feature on this album, and the future feature was like dissing Kendrick, and was like, yeah, I don't know, but I also think that's dumb, because you shouldn't let Future back around low key. Like, just let him fizzle out, if that's even possible. I don't know if that's possible for Future, but it would be nice to get a Wayne feature. I mean, Drake did just change it. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, nah. If Drake and Wayne drop a diss on Kendrick because Kendrick said some shit on his song about like if Wayne want to talk shit too, he could get it pretty much. Uh, man, them niggas should drop a fucking heater on that boy. I mean, Drake did just change his profile photo again to a photo of Wayne holding a ice chain or whatever, but. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Iceman. Some shit on the way. Now, some next shit. Actually, before I get into this point about Netanyahu, I want y'all to take a look at these bars real quick. If we could do a YouTube, I want to show two little shorts. So for people who work out or people who go to the gym or even do their own home fucking routines and shit, I'm sure a lot of you have eaten protein bars, and it's type in Paul and then Sal, Sal. Yeah, the first one. And then type in protein bars after his name. Go back to search and type in protein bars. No, you'll have to type it because there's two shorts that are like right next to each other that I want to play. Paul Saladino protein bars. Yep. But so you're gonna see this video kind of shows what is in a lot of these protein bars, and these ingredients are in a lot of other shit. And then I'm gonna show you what my boy's coming out with, which is fire. Paul Saladino, to give you guys a little bit of reference, he's been a health and fitness influencer for about a decade now, and he shows like life hacks that are natural, like you get in the sun, eating real food, don't just eat veggies and shit. He's not on that, just eat real food, shit like that. And he's directly a part of RFK's campaigning and of RFK's initiatives. And they did an event a couple months ago in the airport where they had a pull-up bar, and they were talking about possibly having all airports install pull-up bars, shit like that. But yeah, so this first video here, and the second video is what we're going to be playing. We'll play the first video there, and then we'll play the second. The first video shows what's in most protein bars. Yep. Yep, and then, yeah, yep.
Let's make your favorite protein bars
from scratch at home.
First, we're going to blast glycerol with propylene oxide gas. Attach a fatty acid to it, let it set.
And we just made a fake fat that is not digestible by humans, so we can lower the calories.
Now, we are going to genetically modify soybean to be resistant to glyphosate so we can heavily spray it with a synthetic herbicide.
Even though Monsanto has already paid out over $11 billion in legal settlements linking glyphosate to cancer.
Back in the kitchen, we're gonna crush our soybeans, wash the mash with hexane, our petroleum-derived solvent, heat it with a splash of water, and skim off the gummy middle layer.
And we just made our soy lecithin. That's gonna bind everything together.
Now, for the most important part, we're going to take this petroleum byproduct guaiacol, run it through glyoxylic acid oxidation, decarboxylation.
And we just made artificial flavor.
Now, for our other ingredient, palm oil,
cheap protein powder,
artificial sweetener,
natural and artificial flavor,
maltodextrin,
xanthan gum,
tapioca starch,
and a bunch of fillers, emulsifiers, and binders.
Give it a good mix, shape into bars, slap a generic name on it, and there you have it. Send this to your friends who are addicted to protein bars.
Wait, there's a better way. You can make a protein bar entirely from real...
Yeah, you can end that now, and then the second video. These look so fire, and I'm definitely gonna be
This
doing
is a protein bar made entirely from real food. And honestly, not a lot of protein bars can say that today. There's over 10,000 protein bars in the market today.
Yeah,
full of fake
I mean, I believe in
engineered for shelf
real
life,
food and
not
a
for
health
human health.
revolution,
Even the
and this is
so-called
part of it.
healthy protein bars today are really just candy bars in disguise, full of things like seed oils, processed sugars, artificial sweeteners. That's garbage. At Lineage, we set out to make the best tasting, cleanest protein bar on the planet, so here's how we did it. We created a protein bar that tastes amazing, made with the highest quality real food. We started with grass-fed whey protein from cows like this, raised on pasture. For
You got the
sweeteners,
Halo frequency
nothing
playing.
artificial. We use real fruit, like wild blueberries, organic strawberries, coconut nectar, and pure organic honey from bees like this. These are nature's sweeteners. For hair, skin, and nails, and extra protein, we added collagen from grass-fed beef. So unlike other protein bars made with fake food ingredients, we took these real food ingredients and made the Lineage Bar. 20 grams of protein, less than 200 calories, and it tastes amazing. But don't just take my word
I mean,
for it.
they say you're hungry, eat a Snickers.
I
They
eat these
try
every
to
day.
market it like it's something.
Feels like you're
Got
actually
2
eating
peanuts in it.
real food. It's really
Does
good.
nothing.
Really good. It's delicious.
Pretty good. Delicious.
Can have
But
another
yeah,
one. Real food.
and that now.
Real
So, yeah, so I play that because I believe that there's going to be a health revolution, and this guy's important because he's not just a random influencer or business. He's somebody who's directly impactful a part of, referenced, and documented in RFK's Make America Healthy Again initiative. And I believe that shit like this is what needs to replace, because though to some people it might just seem so like something that doesn't require thought, like, oh, I'll just eat whatever, da da da. Like if they're putting, like, if something tastes the exact same, maybe better, and it has only a couple real ingredients compared to something that tastes artificial and has 40 fucking ingredients that are not natural, this and that, like, which one do you think long term is going to have impact? And yeah, you could deny it, or you could try to be like that, but I think you don't need necessarily have to think about these things. Like, my thing is, there's no reason that you should be having poisons in your food at all, and it shouldn't have to be a choice. It should just be fucking taken out of our shit, and or at least obviously always have the freedom of choice, but definitely what should be pushed front and center and most rewarded and given government grants and assistance and this and that should not be artificial companies and shit like that. But yeah, it's my boy Paul Saladino. Hopefully something comes out of that. But next thing we're going to fucking get into is Netanyahu alive? That is the question of questions. Is Netanyahu a fucking alive? So Netanyahu, he went in hiding for a while, and there's actually a lot of key points that line up here to whether or not he was alive. So I think it was March 13th, am I wrong? Or 9th or 3rd? I think it was March 13th. There was a strike on Israel, Tel Aviv, specifically Netanyahu's office, and another important building that had Mossad people. And Iran, RGC officials claim that they have killed Netanyahu and hit his place and blah, 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 this and that. And he was not heard from after that, like, for some time. And obviously there's some weird videos that came, but before we get into the videos, there was also Netanyahu's son. I think his name is like Yel or something like that. Yel. His younger son. He usually posts on social media about, on average, he posts anywhere from 25 to 50 times a day, like tweets and shit like that, reposts, all that. And I mean, on more active days, he posts like 100 plus. But
Yeah, they said the average was 32 times a day.
yeah, I heard it was like 25 to 100, and that some days he would do like a hell of a lot. But which I don't really know. I haven't looked at this post, but I do know that he did not post from the day that it was believed Netanyahu was dead for like the following next 5 or 6 days, I believe. I don't know if he's posted yet, but that's the last I heard about it. And which is weird. His daughter stopped posting, and they released a video of what looked similar to the press conference yesterday, but it was more of like a pre-recorded, I assume, so they tell us, video. And he had 6 fingers at one point, and his teeth disappeared at another point. I don't know if could we actually play clips of the AI videos? Oh, you can't. No AI joints.
Ain't going anywhere near none of that as far as videos go.
All right, got you. All right, yeah. So his teeth disappeared, and he had an additional pinky that was shaped like a middle finger. And then the following like couple of days, he was at a coffee shop, so it was said, and it was a lot more believable in my opinion. Like, I actually fell for it at first because I was like, let's start here before we talk about these videos and shit. Let me ask y'all. Netanyahu's home got struck by drones in 2024, okay? 2024, there was a drone attack on Netanyahu's place of residence. I believe he may have been there, maybe he may, I don't know, but this is a fact. You can find this. Do you really think that in the midst of a serious fucking war like this, in the midst of them fucking boom, boom, Tel Aviv in your shit, blowing your shit up, that he's going to be sitting in his fucking office. Like, I mean, to be fair, a lot of Mossad agents have been killed, and they actually killed a lot in like one building or whatever. But and they took out a bunker, shit like that. But however, like the first day of the war, this is confirmed that he took a plane to Germany. Like he was in Germany the first day of the war, and fucking, I just don't see him coming back like at the very peak of this shit. And like, yeah, let me just sit in my fucking office. Come on now. You know damn well your office is getting blown up. However, uh, I'm not sure. I don't believe I played this last episode, but there's a Indian journalist. His name's Adika K. Let me see. His last name starts with a K, and Adika Ken Kawabli or no, that's not it. Well, whatever. There's this dude named Adika who works for Al Jazeera. He used to. He became an independent journalist, and he's one of those like I forget the name of them, but they're like pretty much paparazzi, like follow you around. Hey, sir, da, da, da. And this dude was filming. Uh, he was trying to get a clip of Netanyahu, and he got a clip live of like live on his stream, on his reporting stream of Netanyahu and like some other officials and shit walking towards a banged up, destroyed building and shit. And they're claiming that from that video, Iran took that video because the strike was like literally like not too long after that video that they took that video and got his coordinates and blew him up. So yeah, because of that, sure, that's a good argument that he's dead. And there's been at least 3 different AI clips of him: the press conference, the coffee shop, and the clip with Mike Huckabee. However, he did a press conference yesterday, supposedly. I mean, you can't necessarily trust anything for real, but he did a press conference yesterday, and in this press conference, a quote from it. There's a couple quotes from it, but one, he's saying that we will not end this war until there is absolute regime change. Uh, and he also said that Jesus Christ is no greater than Genghis Khan because, hold on, let me get the quote. Jesus Christ is no greater than Genghis Khan. Benjamin Netanyahu, Jesus Christ, no greater than Genghis Khan. Evil quote. Let's see. Yeah, at the end of it, he said something about evil is okay. He says, Jesus Christ, he said, it is not enough to be moral. It is not enough to be just. Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. If you're strong enough, ruthless. Hold on, wait, it cut off. Hold on, wait. If you're strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. That's what he said. He said evil will overcome good. So yeah, I mean that sounds a lot like him. So I don't know. We'll see what comes out of that. But yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu. Another quick fact about him before I get into probably our biggest topic of the week is Benjamin Netanyahu's original name is not Benjamin Netanyahu. It is actually, let's see, Benjamin Netanyahu's original name is Benjamin Milikowski. Benjamin Milikowski, right? And it says he lived in Philadelphia. Hold on, wait, I need to see. I know during his teens. Did Benjamin Netanyahu live in Philly during his childhood? This is my fact of the week. Yes, Benjamin Netanyahu spent a significant part of his teenage years living in the Philadelphia suburbs, Cheltenham Township, PA. During the 1960s, he attended and graduated from Cheltenham High School. So he graduated in Philadelphia, where he played soccer and was active in the chess club. his father, his father's name was actually Benzion Netanyahu, but it's spelled different than the current Netanyahu. But so he changed his name to his father's name apparently. But yeah, so you don't know, the current president of a foreign country grew up in Philly. So yeah, that's dope as fuck. I mean, he didn't grow up in Philly, but
Our the new pope or some shit is like,
yeah, Chicago.
yeah,
But the Pope's not. I mean, he's a religious leader, so you just have to be strong in your religion.
yeah, but I
But
still think it's pretty wild.
yeah, it is, and to me that signals a fucking setup. You know, the Pope can call for war, right? You know that the Pope can declare war. The Pope's done it multiple times. It's happened twice, and you know what it was called? It's called the Crusades. Can the Pope declare war? And this is why I'm saying, like, they won a religious war, right? And this is why I think on the last episode I said, like, they killed the Ayatollah. I don't see why they either A, can't take out the Pope and start a war that way, or he can't say, you know what, like, it's already fucked the Muslims from a lot of shit. War, right? So it says right here, yes, as the absolute monarch of the independent Vatican City State, the Pope holds the technical legal authority to declare war. Uh, though it says modern diplomatic neutrality treaties make it practically impossible. But the Pope did it. Let me see. Has the Pope done it before? It's loading, it's loading.
I'm looking at it from the aspect of like, what country other than his own is gonna fucking listen to him?
His religious fucking vessels, and
Yeah,
and
but
and whoever gives out their orders, like like like, I mean,
yeah, but like if I'm the leader of a country, just because I have people in my army that believe in Christianity doesn't mean that I have to let them either A, take my
we're
weapons and soldiers to war.
they're not going to frame it necessarily as like this. I'm sure they'll frame it as national security critical state or this, but we're literally doing that right now for fucking an Israeli war.
Oh yeah, one
But
hundred percent.
but it says the popes have declared and led military campaigns many times throughout history, primarily between the years 754 and 1870, where they ruled the papal states as temporary monarchs, blah blah blah. So times were a lot different then, but I believe the Crusades, the most recent one was 1870, so about 140, 150 years ago. But I don't see why the global elites and everything else, like, I believe they'll do everything they can to cause World War III before they say, yeah, we fuck kids. Like, so
Yeah, I don't doubt World War III's coming.
for real?
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
God damn. That's a sad statement to make. I mean, it's true,
But
but
I
it's
don't
sad.
believe that, like, to keep it real, I don't believe the Pope does or is gonna have anything to do with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I said, countries hold their own power too much for the
right.
Pope's word to matter.
I get what you're saying, but you understand, like, a lot of the reason why we're fighting in the Middle East is because of Muslim, like because we're against Muslim ideology and pretty much brainwashed to be
That's not
against.
why.
Well, then why is it? I mean, it's because they're a threat to Israel, and it's Islamic states that are threats to Israel.
Yep.
So
That's
so
why. It's
what
because
was the
we're
Islamic
stuck
State?
under. Yeah, but it's because we're stuck under the Islamic thumb right now because of our past shit that has happened. That you know, gonna that's all the secret society bullshit. You know what I mean? That's things that are above our pay grade to even know about. But it's fairly obvious that some shit has obviously happened that we owe them for.
Well, yeah, I feel you. I just
You
feel
know what
I
I
just
mean?
feel like
So at that point, it doesn't become a religious thing. It's not like we're fighting for their
but
religion. It just because you know what I mean. It just so happens that they're making it look like it's a religious thing.
here's
Meanwhile, we're only
so
in this because
So here's the way I'm framing it. So they're not gonna say go to war because for the Catholics, right? But in order for a country, I mean, not necessarily if it's a dictator like country, no, but in order for a country like us to really like, or any country to really go to war and be full blown in it and have the full support of the people, you got to have the support of the people. And I feel like religion is just one of many tools, along with left and right and this and that and blah blah
You're
blah,
not wrong in
to
anything that
to
you're
to
saying.
get the public to all get on one accord of yeah, rise up, blah
Yeah,
blah
you're
blah.
not wrong in anything you're saying. The problem is that the Pope is a religious leader.
Yeah,
And just that.
right.
You know what I mean?
Which
He's
is
not
why.
a nation's leader. He's not a, you know what I mean? He's
Right.
not anything.
Well, neither is the
That's-
Ayatollah. You know that, right? That Iran has a president and they have a prime minister. The Ayatollah is only a religious leader. He's not a political leader at all. And there's an entire war right now because he's murdered. But I'm saying
But it's different than because he's murdered and him saying, all right, you guys go to war, and everybody start going to war.
well, no, that it's a part of their religion that if he's murdered, they would go to war. Which is why I say like I don't. My prediction wasn't that the Pope will call war.
But
I think the Pope will get killed because the only reason I say this is because like the Pope lives in the Vatican, right? And the Vatican has like the majority of the world's secrets and hidden artifacts and religious and all that shit. Like if the Vatican gets hit or if something like that happens, there's going to be the biggest uprising, propaganda, fucking all that shit. And if there's a book written, I reacted to it on our last episode. 1,000 years ago, a book was written that had the name of all the popes coming up on after, and this pope's supposed to be the final pope. But I mean countries. I feel like religion, and then left and right, and then black and all this shit is going to be leveraged against us instead of what we should be doing is just like right now we should put all. I heard Nick Fuentes say this actually. I I I don't know if we could play that joint, but Nick Fuentes said on a like 2-minute clip, the guy who everybody calls racist, like the fucking biggest racist. He says, listen, type in Nick Fuentes, put our differences aside. He said we need to all put our fucking differences aside because right now is like the most important. Differences aside. Yeah, I think it might be the first one because it's a clip of him talking about how he's done with Trump, and then how he's like, "Listen, Democrats." He pretty much says, "Listen, Democrats."
This has to be the breaking point. This is the breaking point
Yeah.
for the GOP coalition. You buried the Epstein files. There is no border wall. You didn't deliver on mass deportations. You cut corporate tax rates for the rich by cutting Medicaid.
Type in
Again,
MAGA scam.
no infrastructure bill. No middle-class tax cuts. You got to refund the
MAGA
terrorists. And
biggest
now we're in a
scam.
regime
That's the
change
clip.
war with Iran.
He talks
That's
about
the
how
breaking
MAGA's a
point.
scam
I'm
or
out.
whatever.
I'm done.
I mean,
I am off the Trump train. I am
Yeah.
not voting in 26.
my bad.
If Rubio or Vance are out.
Okay. How many hours? What's that first one say?
That's from 8 months ago.
No. It's just recently. It's about betrayal. It could be that betrayal clip. I mean, I don't know. These are old. I don't know why they're so. All right. Well, I mean, if we can't find it, whatever. I'll just play some whenever we get on Joe Kent. But fucking Nick Fuentes just said about MAGA being the biggest scam in American history that like we bought into, blah blah blah, and it all just flipped this and that, and I forget what I was getting to originally with that, but yeah, a lot of things going to be utilized to brainwash and lock people in. But the biggest thing in recent days that I want to get into that I think is pretty fucking significant news in the history of things, regardless of your perspective of it, regardless of if you decide to look into it right now, it is pretty impactful in the trajectory of where things will go. So, Joseph Kent, who is now resigned as our director of National Counterterrorism Center. He's the second person in the totem pole behind Tulsi Gabbard, intelligence. Tulsi Gabbard is the director of national intelligence, and he put out a letter. Can you? It's just a photo. Can you look up this letter? It's a Joe Kent resignation letter. I'm gonna read this to y'all, and I don't know if we can show it, but this fucking this is pretty fucking big, y'all, because Joseph Kent is somebody who was a big Israel supporter. He was actually a Zionist, and this is, I think, from the same clip Nick Flint was talking about. Him and Joe Kent went at it, right? Like, Joe Kent in 2018 ran for office, and Nick Fuentes gave him his support, and he gave him he should yeah he gave him his support, and Joe Kent came out at the time and he was like, I do not accept any endorsement from Nick Fuentes. I do not want to be on his platform, blah, 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 blah. This is not something that I agree with because of his comments on Jews, yada, yada, yada. And he was very like pro-Israel, Zionist, blah, blah, blah. But now there's this. So it says, President Trump, after much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position of director of the National Counterterrorism Center, effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. I support the values and the foreign policies that you campaigned on in 2016, 2020, 2024, which you enacted in your first term. Until June of 2025, you understood that wars in the Middle East were a trap that robbed America of the precious lives of our patriots and depleted the wealth and prosperity of our nation. In your first administration, you understood better than any modern president how to decisively apply military power without getting us drawn into never-ending wars. You demonstrated this by killing Qasem Soleimani and by defeating ISIS. Early in this administration, high-ranking Israeli officials and influential members of American media deployed a misinformation campaign that wholly undermined your America First platform and sowed your pro-war sentiments and encouraged war with Iran. This echo chamber was used to deceive you into believing that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States and that you should strike now. There was no clear path to a swift victory. This was a lie and is the same tactic that the Israelis used to draw us into the disastrous Iraq war that cost our nation the lives of hundreds of thousands of our best men and women. We cannot make this mistake again. As a veteran who deployed to combat 11 times and as a Gold Star husband who lost my beloved wife, Shannon, in a war manufactured by Israel, I cannot support sending the next generation off to fight and die in a war that serves no benefit to American people nor justifies the cost of American lives. And then at the end of it, he pretty much just says, I appreciate you. It was an honor for serving in your administration. And this is big because not only did this dude do this, but the day after this, Tucker Carlson, it's like, hey, come on my fucking show and we're going to do an interview. This interview gets 2 million views in a day. Tucker Carlson interviewed Joe Kent. And not only did they just talk about this Iran war, they talked about Charlie Kirk. Can you, I mean, whenever you get a chance, there's like 2 more clips I'll have for the rest of this shit. It's Joe Kent talked about Charlie Kirk, and he said that mind you, you guys need to understand, this guy's second on the totem pole in the intelligence community, right? So he sees all of the sensitive information that pretty much Tulsi would see. Tulsi's the executive, so she makes final decisions, oversees reports, shit like that, blah, blah, blah. But he gathers the shit, brings it to her, all that. So he said that there were many leads that Charlie Kirk's death was due to a foreign nation. He said this, and can you type in Joe Kent Charlie Kirk or Tucker Carlson Joe Kent Charlie Kirk? It's just a short clip, and this is like, this tells you everything. The only reason why they would do this shit is because, oh yeah, we're guilty. Like, tell me if this makes any fucking sense to you. It's a clip. You don't have to play it. Scroll down. There should be a short about it. Charlie Kirk, Joe Kent. Okay, what?
These are shorts.
Yeah, what's that? Is that second one about it? Charlie Kirk's.
Last words to Joe Kent.
Can you just delete the Tucker Carlson off it? Just put Joe Kent on Charlie Kirk's death. Is that it? Charlie Kirk death. Okay, done. Sorry. There's gotta be a fucking short. There's no way that they're only on other fucking. I watched short earlier. Okay. Well, actually, no, I know where it's at. Go to Tucker Carlson's page. They're probably just blacklisting it. I'm pretty sure he has a short on his page. Yeah. And then go to shorts. And yeah, Charlie Kirk. There's a clip with Charlie Kirk. Go down. Are these Joe Kent's? Okay. All right. Well, whatever. I'm not seeing Joe Kent on there. Can you tap that?
This one
Yeah.
is Charlie Kirk's last
I
words
guess.
to
I
Joe
guess.
Kent.
Try that one. Sure.
I hope everyone watching will just clip that tape and keep it on your phone and replay it every day. I hope everyone watching will just clip that tape and keep it on your phone and replay it every day.
I'm so fucking confused.
Basically, you give no information whatsoever on
That's
something that's
not even
obvious
the
that
right
should be.
one. What?
Yeah, something's not fucking adding.
I saw Charlie.
Oh, there it is.
The last time I saw Charlie Kirk on this earth was in June in the West Wing in the stairway. That's a tight space. I said hi to him in the eye, and he said very loudly, "Joe, stop us from getting into a war with Iran." So when one of President Trump's closest advisors, who is vocally advocating for us to not go to war with Iran and for us to rethink at least our relationship with the Israelis, and then he's suddenly publicly assassinated, and we're not allowed to ask any questions about that, it's a data point that we need to look into. The last time I saw Charlie Kirk on this earth was in
So wait. Oh fuck! You already answered it. So pretty much what he says, there will be clips for next episode that I could possibly get into, but what he says is he says that he had leads and he wanted to look into and start an investigation into foreign adversaries, or not adversaries, foreign people being involved with the death of Charlie Kirk, because he had verifiable leads or whatever. And the FBI and the DOJ, he says in the clip, both shut it down and said, no, you can't look into it, pretty much. Well, they said, no, you don't need to look into it. And Tucker Carlson asked him, he's like, well, why? Why would they tell you that you can't? He was like an American hero. Why would they do that? He was like, I don't know. They pretty much just said, like we got it from here. If there's anything that we find that you should look into, like, we'll tell you. But pretty much trust us, we got it. And to me, like, that makes the least fucking sense. You would want all hands on deck on that shit, especially if the guy's position, like, let him do his job. His position is as director of National Counterterrorism, or Counterterrorism Center. So, like, come on. Like, shit's crazy. But he spoke about how, like, he's not against, like this guy was for us taking out Iran's nuclear centers, right? And And he gives a lot of good details. You also check this interview out. It has a lot of views for a reason. He gives a lot of good details about like how foreign intelligence agencies of the Mossad present reports to us that often aren't true, and how like Trump went off an intelligence report that was a foreign report for this war, because in the press conference after the war he says we have intelligence that tells us that it's a great plan, this and that, blah blah blah, and there's a public report to the last report that was given to him, literally saying like you can't cause regime change and trying to do so or taking out the Ayatollah. It's only going to make them stronger. Attacking them is only making them stronger. Like, it's not going to destroy the people and make them fall under you. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit to get into. But before I get a little more into it, make sure y'all tap in every single Friday at 2:30 p.m. for The World We Know. Every single Friday at 6 for Stash Spots. And every single Saturday at 8 p.m. for Marley's State of Mind. Catch us on the Bunchables platform. Be there every week. You catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick. Yeah. On the Joe Kent shit, there's a lot of shit that's going to come out of this. That Charlie Kirk, I feel, is going to do some important interviews, because he just released one right before this pod, about an hour before it, with Professor Zhang, who he named a political prophet, because this dude says a lot of like really logical shit. But Tucker Carlson actually has an investigation going on him right now for being involved with foreign adversaries during this war. He said that they scrubbed his text, or read his text apparently. He wasn't aware of it. They've been reading his text, and he's never received money. He's never like given any like information or anything, but it's just for being in contact with them, apparently, with whoever he's in contact with. But he's like, well, there's a lot of politicians who have loyalty to other countries. Like, why are you looking into me? Like I'm just a fucking independent journalist. Like, why are you looking into me? But yeah, so yeah, we'll have some pretty good shit, I'm sure, next week to get into. Some more fucking war shit, some more world shit, hopefully positive more than negative. But that's it for this week on The World We Know. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm Greg Lamont.